Now, how many people know that? How many people in the whole world know that when you put your money in a bank, it doesn't get lent out? Almost nobody, because I'm the only guy spreading the idea. I'm the only guy spreading the truth. So where does the yield come from? Inflation. But where's the inflation? The government literally just prints the money out of thin air. They print the money out of thin air. Your yield at your bank is from people printing the money out of thin air. Your yield in the stock market is also mostly them printing the money out of thin air. When they print all this money, it has to go somewhere. Where does it go? Places where it doesn't lose to inflation, where it can get yield. Okay, well, where's the only place large enough to park these trillions of dollars that they printed? The stock market. And so what happens? The stock market goes to new all-time highs because the money has to go somewhere. Same with crypto. Stock market makes new all-time highs. Crypto makes new all-time highs. Why? Because people are looking for places to park their capital to beat inflation. Because look, even though what you have is going up in value, if all the stuff that you want to buy also went up in price, you just broke even. So if you didn't double your, like a lot of these watches that are sitting here are costing twice what they cost from the factory, and they're permanently sold out. So if you want them, you got to pay 2 to 3 times what they cost from the factory. Now most watches lose money. Watches I buy, they don't. So your yield in the stock market is the next guy buying. It's called the greater fool theory, but I don't like calling him that because these guys make all the money. How are you going to call them fools when they make all the money? The most profitable people in the world are the fools that have been buying these things at inflated prices because they get more inflated. So, you'd be hard pressed when everything's at new all-time highs to have bought at the wrong time because everything's at new all-time highs. Stock market's new all-time highs. Crypto in April 16th was the Bitcoin top. 27 days later was the Ethereum top. Hex is making new all-time highs all the time. I think it was just a week or two, maybe 2 weeks ago. It did it last all-time high, I think. I mean, for all I know, it might be an all-time high now while I'm on stream. I'll go look. 19 cents, real close to an all-time high. Our all-time high was 21.8, 21.9 rounded, and now we're at 19. So we're like this close to an all-time high now in hex.com. So where else do people not know where the yield comes from? So now I've told you where the yield comes from in stocks, the next guy buying higher. I've told you where the yield comes from in bank accounts, inflation, printing money out of thin air. Where does the yield come from for Bitcoin miners? Bitcoin miners have been, every single coin that exists in the world in Bitcoin passed through the hands of a Bitcoin miner because they minted it out of thin air. I know because I was a Bitcoin miner and I used to mine full 50 Bitcoin block reward blocks with no pool, no middlemen, no counterparty risk. Me and my GPU, we would mine full 50 Bitcoin block rewards on our own, mint 50 Bitcoin out of thin air. 50 Bitcoin now is worth about $25 million, $2.5 million. 50 Bitcoin is 2.5 million, I think. Yeah. So where does the yield come from? The next guy buying higher. That's where the yield comes from. Ethereum used to be 31 cents at its crowd sale. Now it's $3,300. That's a 10,000x. Why is Ethereum 10,000x up higher in price? Where does the yield come from? The next guy buying higher. The same place it comes from in stocks. The same place it comes from in Bitcoin. Why has Hex price gone up 4,000 fold in a year and a half before interest, before staking, and 6,000 to 9,000 fold with staking interest? How can it do that? Because the next guy's buying higher. That's it. Like, I don't understand why people don't get this. Their brains don't understand that all of the yield from everything is basically from inflation. Bitcoin miners' revenue is from inflating the Bitcoin supply. Your savings deposit yield as a saver in a bank comes from the Fed inflating the supply. The yield of, what was it? It was banks, stocks, crypto. Yeah, those are the three. I mean, where else is there yield that we need to talk about? So, I mean, yeah. And then, is it stupid for the next guy to buy higher? Well, I don't know. Bitcoin's up 6.5 million X from a penny in around 10 years. Ethereum's up 10,000 X. Hex is up 4,000 X. Is it stupid to be the guy that bought higher? Everything's at new all-time highs. Imagine if you didn't buy higher and you just sat in cash, or you sat in gold. Wrecked. Gold is cheaper now than it was 10 years ago. But everything else is at new all-time highs. You lost money holding gold instead of the dollar, and you lost money holding the dollar instead of nearly anything else that they don't print out of thin air. So our made-up, fake, imaginary internet money is better than the government's made-up, fake, imaginary internet money. Go look at the chart. It's that easy. It's got better hours. It's got better uptime. It's got better everything. Except you do have to transfer back to the crappy government stuff often to buy stuff you want sometimes. But who cares when you're up 1,000-fold? Who cares? Can you buy coffee with your Berkshire Hathaway stock? No. Can you buy coffee with your Apple stock? No. But are they very profitable things to have? Yes. So I hope that, one, I've taught you how to not get hacked, and two, I've taught you where the profit and where the yield comes from. Because these armchair economists that think like, oh, Bitcoin's a scam because where does the money come from? It comes from the next guy buying. Value storage is very profitable. People want to store their value. The best place. This is one of the best places. Okay, well, where does the Ethereum miner profit come from? Same place. Where does the speculator profit come from? Same place. This money that they're printing out of thin air has to go somewhere. Why wouldn't it go to the highest appreciating asset class that has ever existed in the history of mankind? And I think I may have created the most price performative asset in the history of the world, maybe. Like, I'd give it like a 70-30 chance that I'm pretty sure that Hex has beat everything else. So we'll see, right? Like, I think 4,000x in 1.5 years with really good liquidity, you can sell. We see people buying Rolexes and boats and houses and Maybachs, McLarens, everything. Like Ferraris, Lamborghinis. I've seen Hexicans buying everything. We see people selling millions and millions and millions of dollars of Hex all the time. Price keeps going up. Price keeps making new all-time highs. Because the amount of people that want to buy the best appreciating asset in the history of the world with 100% uptime, the best logo, the best community, the best domain name, the best founder? Really? Could it be? Maybe the best founder. That's really high demand for that. I mean, I have phone calls with guys that have hundreds of millions of dollars and they want more exposure, not less. They want to buy more. So they're asking me how to get good entries, you know? So like, if you don't understand how high and how crazy the Hex price can go, you haven't seen anything yet. You really haven't. We're pre-viral. Have you seen it on CNBC how to buy Hex yet? No. Is it listed on big exchanges? No. Is it on the front page of CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko? No. Has anyone said a kind word about Hex ever? No. There's still people out there calling it a scam after it's overperformed, beat everything with more security, more uptime, better price performance, better features. You're just like, what else can we do better here, guys? We won. You guys lost. All you guys that thought that it was going to be a rug pull, thought the price was going to go down, thought everything was going to suck. You were all wrong. You all lost. You all get wrecked. And we get to shove it in your face every single day because we won. And we didn't win by a little bit. We won by a lot. We super duper duper ultra won. And I post that chart all the time. Here's everything else. Here's Hex. So at some point, the rest of the world needs to update their worldview and understand they were wrong, and what I built is better than anything that's existed previously.